Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Reasonably Effective Podcast. I'm Ten Tights, joined by Uncommon Fossil,
Howdy, everybody.
And it is episode 48.
48. Yeah, you are on top of things.
Yeah, I didn't definitely just ask for that right before. And today we're talking about we're doing an end of the year wrap up or awards nominations.
Yep, the award ceremony, the 2023 G Block Awards ceremony. Well, that's not quite true, is it?
Well, and this isn't the ceremony. So the way we're going to do it is next week, I think, we're going to, which I believe is next week's episode on Christmas.
It will drop December 25th, the episode for next week.
Yeah, so depending on time zone, I suppose. But so we'll be doing that. In that episode, we plan on presenting the awards. But in the meantime, this episode, we're going to nominate cards for a variety of categories or decks. There are all decks or cards, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll do five nominations per categories to play on.
Yeah, and then on each of our channels, so 10 Types or Uncommon Fossil, or both of them actually, we're going to have voting under the community tab. So you can vote. You can actually vote twice. You can vote for different ones if you want it. And then we're going to add up the votes from the two channels at the end.
And then present the winners. What are the winners for each of these categories? This video drops on a Monday, and you'll have that week, Monday through Friday, to get your votes in.
Yeah. Something I don't actually know when we're posting the polls. But yeah, just check on the tab. It'll probably be recommended to you on your YouTube page. I don't know how much they recommend polls, but they do, for me at least, sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't know, but it's under the community tab if you're not used to checking that on the YouTube page for each channel.
Yeah, which should still be there. YouTube sometimes changes tabs.
Yes.
So let's start off with, I think, the deck of the year. This is the biggest category, and you want to start off with your nominations, what you think should be there? Or nominations.
I will. All right, deck of the year. Yeah, this is a tricky one, and I think we're also having new deck of the year, which obviously has some overlap, but not entirely. All right, so I'm going to put down, I'm going to say Lugia Archeops, because while we're talking this calendar year, it also includes pre-rotation. So Lugia Archeops was dominant before rotation, and then it was good after rotation too. Not as good, but still a strong deck.
Yeah, I actually want to say one thing. This is starting off the episode a little negative. This year in Pokemon sucked. Because
what? This is like such a diverse meta. All right, go on.
No, the meta was cool. I think the meta was fun. The year I didn't suck, but I actually enjoyed it. But there was a major problem of PTGO stopping and live starting, which somehow meant that the pre-rotation meta actually lasted substantially longer for a substantial group of players, which does actually, in my opinion, increase the importance of, as you said, Lugia and pre-rotation style decks.
Yeah, and actually, because since you brought up live, and we don't want to harp on that, certainly, you're right. So people were in that Crown Zenith meta for an extra 3 or more months on PTGO, but also a lot of people like ourselves that started playing on live, but we didn't want to migrate our decks because, there's plenty of reasons to wait on migrate. They gave you Lugia Archeops on the ladder. That was probably the best deck anyway, and since you didn't migrate, you had really nothing else to choose from, so it was like just Lugia mirrors for a while.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And deck of the year is, I'd say, it's supposed to be the best deck and the most impactful, and so I agree that Lugia should be there. I will say the other one that I think has to be here is Mew Genesect, or Mew VMAX.
But you mean any build, right?
Yeah.
It can be a Meloetta or a DTE.
Yeah, and I'm assuming when you say Lugia, you mean any build of that as well?
Yeah, but it would include Single Strike as well as after rotation, or the colorless build after rotation, or the pre-rotation with all the colored energies.
Yeah. And then, so Mew VMAX won the World Championship Masters division. I don't know about the other divisions. I don't think it did, but it was very good. It was good coming in, and it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
There's not too much to say about it other than it's kind of annoying to play against.
Yeah, it's just been good since it came out, and still is good. So I think it definitely belongs there.
It has changed, as you said. It had the double turbo build, and then Fusion Strike energy as well.
Right. So I'll jump in with the next one, and I think in some of its how we categorize, I'm going to say Lost Zone, because I think for this I would say we just put Lost Zone as its own broad category, and there's been obviously a number of top Lost Zone decks consistently over the year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have a question though. I didn't decide on this before, but is Giratina V-Star Would Lost Zone include in that?
That's a good question. I didn't put that down. Or do you want to say you could nominate Giratina V-Star, and then it could be either the Lost Zone or the Arceus build too. We don't want to start splitting things up too much. So I would say Giratina's its own deck.
You would, and you say Lost Zone is not, or Giratina Lost Zone is not part of Lost Zone, is part of Giratina. Like,
I mean, the Lost Zone is obviously like a Radiant Charizard build. And there are Radiant Greninja builds with a diversity of attackers.
Yeah, but I mean, one of those attackers could be Giratina.
I mean, we could include it in it.
I'd say let's just say Lost Zone. I don't think Giratina by itself, like if you just look at Giratina Lost Zone was very good.
It was.
And it was impactful, but I'd say Lost Zone as a whole is the focus.
Yeah, I think, something that uses the Lost Zone for a backbone and adds on whatever it wants to. I think for Deck of the Year, I think that's what we do.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of, we mentioned pre-rotation earlier as well. It was very broken pre-rotation. You had Scoop of Net, so you could like turn one, KO all your opponent's Pokemon with like Amazing Rare Kyogre or something.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to do it. So it was obviously a super strong deck, but it still obviously is a top deck, especially if you include all the builds.
Yeah. Next up, I have the first new deck in this list, which is Gardevoir EX. I think Gardevoir, one thing I'll say is it was an older deck, or like an earlier deck this year, which to me gives it an advantage in this category. I'd struggle to put a deck like Roaring Moon. I mean, I don't think Roaring Moon's like amazing, but if it was, I still wouldn't say it's the deck of the year because it's so new. But Gardevoir came out, has been out for a while. It did well. I mean, it's done well since it's come out.
Yeah, I mean, we could get the nitpicking question: are we going to call it Gardevoir? You actually just Gardevoir, because obviously the single prize Gardevoir is very important in it too. But it's the same deck.
Yeah,
it's just how we'll just see what we name it on our lists.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will be confused about what deck it is either.
No, so I'll go with another new deck, and this is a Miraidon EX deck as a nomination. But now that makes us at 5 with that, so I'm not sure that all these are going to make it because there's some other decks to consider. Yeah,
Miraidon I'd say has been worse than Gardevoir. In my opinion, it has.
Probably. I mean, I don't know with the results how they actually compare, but I'm inclined that I would put Miraidon as the 5th of the decks we've mentioned so far. And let's see what we have to top.
So I have a few other decks. One, a new deck, a much newer deck, is going to be Charizard EX, which has been good. It's been, very recently, it's been quite good. Is it the number one deck right now? I don't think it is.
Online you're talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone crazy with online tournaments the last week or so.
Yeah, no, it's very close. It's not quite number one, but it's within 11 plays of number one. So, Charizard's been very good this past meta, and it was good when it came out as well.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't on my list for Deck of the Year, I will say. The reason for it's good. It hasn't shown up a ton in IRL tournaments, though.
I don't follow IRL. So I've shown up some, though. I think more recently it has.
And I think the Brazilian players seem to like Charizard a lot. The rest of the world, less so. So, I mean, to me, I would debate. It's kind of at the Miraidon level to me.
Yeah. So I have a few.
We have a couple of more decks.
Do you have more decks that you have?
I do. So, I'm going to say the deck that if we were which we were going to do like the most hated, and that's Snorlax Stall, which unfortunately is very strong right now.
I think it's good. It's only been good since Countercatcher.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't. It was an okay-ish deck before, but nowhere near this. So that's fair enough. It's a top 10 deck, but only a top 10 deck probably since the last set came out.
Yeah. Okay. And then I have Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao is also obviously like it came out this year. Chien-Pao EX with Excalibur. It's good.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd probably put it below Gardevoir and Charizard. I'd definitely put it below Gardevoir. I'd probably put it below Charizard, but
yeah, I'm inclined not to. Now we're gonna spoilers. We're gonna do a best new deck category, and certainly these are strong candidates for best new deck. I think.
Yeah,
we'll see. I think it's probably out on the outside, but we're gonna have to. It's in that discussion, which is fair enough.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, I have two others. One is Inteleon Urshifu.
Yeah, okay, I had that one as well.
Which is kind of a counter deck in some sense. It depends on what's going on, but it's been, I think, has it been good all year?
Yeah, it's been pretty good all year.
It's on and off, right? Again, it's not a dominant deck, but
It's been pretty decent. It's been like top 10 since the beginning of the year. Before then, it wasn't really played much. I
yeah.
can't really find it. I might have missed it, but it was hard to find. So yeah, I'd say it's I don't think it's top. Like it just doesn't feel right being. So what do we have? So we have Mew, Lost Zone,
Yeah, Lugia.
Lugia.
I think we have Lost Zone, Archaea, Lugia, Mew, Gardevoir. I think are pretty solid four. I have one other one to toss in,
Yeah.
and that's Entei Iron Valiant.
Entei Iron Valiant.
People love it. If we put it up there, it will get votes.
No, you love it.
The common man, which I here to represent, loves Entei. So
you're not the common man. You're the uncommon man.
So that is true. So you're saying innate.
Yeah, I'm saying no. I'd say it's worse than.
Right, I'm going to bring up Entei later on for another category.
What category? I don't know.
Well, I'll just let you ponder that as you're looking very uncomfortable as I say these things.
Yeah. And by the way, we are recording this next to each other, so the sound might sound different.
Yeah, which is a different microphone. Look, when I've heard Andrew Mahone on his channel, he says his viewers like Entei. They want it to work. So
I mean, they're
all right. So it's not deck of the year.
No, I think
fair enough.
The other deck. I have one
else?
more, and you like this deck.
Go ahead.
It's Arceus.
Yeah, I mean, and by that, any build you're saying,
yeah,
right?
Arceus, yeah. So obviously, right now it's not super highly played. It's not highly played. But previously, like it's a good card. It's kind of weird. Obviously, it's popped into a lot of decks which aren't Arceus decks.
I mean, it was being played in Charizard deck when it first came out.
Chien-Pao. But those don't count. But like Arceus Duraludon and notably Arceus Giratina as well.
Right, and you have the Fringe Arceus Giratina. You have the Arceus, the Lightning, the Flying
Tapu
Pikachu and Tapu Koko that are both.
I mean, there are a lot of Arceus box decks that are good.
Yeah, you play Arceus boxes with different things. I think it probably doesn't make it.
Yeah.
So we have Lost Zone, Lugia, Mew, Gardevoir. Then we have Inteleon, Urshifu, Miraidon, Charizard, Chien-Pao, Arceus.
So of those, I'd lean towards.
I mean, I have my choice, but
I'd say Charizard, Chien-Pao, or Inteleon, Urshifu. One of those three.
Okay, and I was thinking Charizard.
Yeah, probably. Charizard is good. It's new, which is the only thing that hurts it. But like that doesn't mean it's bad. Or not impactful. It's Charizard. So it's
and everybody loves Charizard too. So it's obviously you can make arguments to the other categories, the other decks too. But we'll pick the fifth deck in the voting Charizard.
Yeah. If that's not what we're voting, we changed our minds. But no, I don't believe we're going to change our minds.
No, it's close when it comes to it, which is should be expected. So I think, but that's a very solid list of decks there: Lost Zone, Lugia, Mew, Gardevoir, Charizard.
Yeah. Next up, we got the new, as you alluded to earlier, the new decks or best new deck category.
Yep.
Which to me, I will say one major thing is that I'm not going to be discounting a deck or saying that it's like worse because it's newer. In my eyes,
the more recent decks.
Yeah. So to me, Charizard and Gardevoir are on the same playing field.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna toss. I think Roaring Moon gets tossed in here too, probably.
Yeah,
it's obviously one of the newer decks, probably. But I mean, look. Shall we just start off with the ones we mentioned before that we got to consider? Like we mentioned Miraidon before, I didn't make it, but I think we have to. It gets a consideration here, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Again, Gardevoir, I guess has to be here, right? Yeah. It made the other one.
Yeah, so. And I would say it's not necessarily better. I mean, it probably is. Is it the best? I'm not sure, but it's. I wouldn't say it is definitely better than all these other ones. It just seen more play initially. Miraidon's kicked up since.
Yeah.
Same thing with obviously Charizard. It's newer.
Right. So again, Charizard, I think I would imagine gets a nomination in Chien-Pao Excalibur. Well, I would think gets a nomination, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Chien-Pao kind of has to.
Because it does obviously big knockouts. It could be played with the Palkia too. That doesn't matter in it. It gives a different way to work, but it's just a strong deck. It's got strong tools.
Yeah, I will say that the Palkia build is very different. You don't necessarily attack with Chien-Pao as much.
Right, and I mean look, Chen Pao's good. The weakness is the Baxcalibur. Relying on rare candy to make your deck happen is always a bit scary because if you don't have it or they knock it out, and you don't have another one to set up. You can't do much.
Yeah, I will say this year has been great for rare candy decks. So 3 of the decks, the first 3 sets, we Gardevoir, which is kind of rare candy.
Yeah, not as much because the Curly of the stage 1 is super good. But yes.
Yeah, but then we had Baxcalibur, Chien-Pao, which is obviously rare candy.
Yep.
And then eventually we had Charizard, which the main attacker is a stage 2.
Right.
Not every deck rare candies, but well, actually every deck like rare candy some.
Right. Even now you have the evolution, the TM evolution, which you can do, but even then, which I've played, I still toss at least one rare candy. And of course, we have Pidgeot EX, which is a rare candy.
Yeah, which is sometimes, I'd say often played in that deck.
Yes.
So I'd say a newer deck, you mentioned Roaring Moon, right?
Yeah. I think it deserves consideration for a nomination for New Deck of the Year, Best New Deck.
I'd say the other deck from that set would be. I have a few.
Yeah.
I have Goldango though.
All right, I'm gonna write it down. I gotta say, Goldango to me has been a big disappointment.
I think Roaring Moon's been a big disappointment.
Well, yeah, I think if you look at the results, Goldango's results are not good.
I'm looking at the win rate. I mean, Goldango's is worse and just played less. But
what are the win? They're both sub 50%.
Yeah, right? Roaring Moon is
48%,
and Goldango's 46, which is neither of those are great. 46 is obviously substantially worse.
They're both a lot better than Baxcalibur.
Chien-Pao's at like 43.
So
Chien-Pao like always has low win rates. Gardevoir tends to have low. It used to have really bad win rates. Now it's kicking up a little.
Yeah.
Oftentimes the hype decks. So I guess I'd put Roaring Moon above Goldango. You want it, right?
I think so, but we have some other nominations. I have one.
Yeah, what's
I have Ting-Lu.
Yeah, Ting-Lu was good.
You like Ting-Lu more than I did. I kind of it was good initially. Obviously, by this point, it's fallen off a lot, right?
Yeah, I think Ting-Lu because it ability locks, but it doesn't ability lock EXs.
Right. So it was great when it was the first set and people were mostly playing Vs, but now
it was the second.
The second set, sorry. Yeah, if it was the first set, it would have been even better.
Yeah.
But its damage level isn't great.
Yeah, and more importantly, I'd say the energy acceleration is like not great.
Koraidon EX,
yeah,
right?
Koraidon, you have you mostly just have Koraidon. You have the axe, the gutsy pickaxe.
Right. Yeah, I was trying to remember. Yep. The item. So if it's on the bench, so Ting-Lu maybe. I think it's probably not as good as some others. Do you have anything to add to the list?
I have 2 others. I think they're both definitively worse than Goldango and
Roaring Moon.
Yeah, but I got Cloth and Serena. I think Serena EX has been not good. Kind of obviously.
Oh, Serena.
Yeah.
That one. Well, that one's the win rate's horrible, right?
Well, it's like kind of bad. It's somewhat prone to like tying. Oh, maybe not. It's like win rate's bad.
It's 36% win rate. So that's rough. And the Cloth.
Cloth is much better. It's not that good though. I'd say it's worse than Goldango and Roaring Moon.
The Cloth. Now the Cloth, and let me think, that also runs a lot of older cards in it, which we had mentioned that in the discussion. Like the other main attacker is the Electrode.
Okay, well now we need to talk about Gardevoir.
Exactly. So is it disqualified? Like, should we count Cloth in it? And Cloth is not as good as Gardevoir. So
I
therefore,
think Cloth is more new. Cloth has Cloth and then has Broop on it. Broop on it.
Yeah.
I assume Electrode V is not new, but
and neither is the Spicy Curry, which is also
Spicy Seasoning Curry. Yeah.
The other key card.
I mean, it's important. Yeah.
And Double Turbo Energy.
Well, yeah.
Those are the 5 key cards in the deck, right?
But like Psychic Energy is not new.
Well,
so I feel like that. I wouldn't say Double Turbo. Anyway, so yeah, I don't.
So you think Cloth is
in the running?
Assuming Electrode doesn't knock it out of the
Cloth is definitely the main attacker. You would use all or Cloth if you could play more Double Turbo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now the Gardevoir EX though, the backbone of that is the Curlia. That's
I'd say the backbone is the baby Gardevoir, which is
also right. Which at this point is often the main attacker, right?
Yeah.
So do we count it as a new deck, Gardevoir?
I think so. I mean,
because the EX
gets branded as a new deck.
Okay.
What do you think? Because I think of those decks, the only one in consideration is Gardevoir, or that is consideration of being not new enough is Gardevoir.
Yeah, I think it stays. Without the Gardevoir EX, it doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just one card to the thing. It's got, I think, enough new pieces.
Yeah. And now we do see Screamtail and Luxurious Cape and Reversal, and there are more new cards. It used to be like Gardevoir EX was the only new card, but that's not true anymore. So now I don't feel horrible leaving it on this.
Yeah, it gets new pieces. So
I want to look at an older,
right in back, when it was playing the Zacian V and stuff, and the Gardevoir.
It's kind of this list doesn't run
Screamtail.
Yeah, it doesn't run many new cards, but
yeah, right. I mean, look,
it's a newer list does. I think Gardevoir EX is obviously very important to the list. So
yeah, okay. So we're keeping Gardevoir to get to the 5 here. Chen Pao, I think, is one of the 5, right?
Yeah.
Charizard's one of the 5. Is Miraidon definitely one of the 5?
Yeah, Miraidon, and I think Roaring Moon.
So and that's our 5. So that means if it's like Roaring Moon, then no Ting Lu, which I think we're fine with.
No Gholdengo, which is fine.
Yeah, I think it's not as good as Roaring Moon, right?
It's certainly played less, and it's arguably worse. They're different, but
yeah, it's played less and is winning less right now. I like Gholdengo. I hope to see more of that down the road. And Cloth and Serena don't belong either, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what category do you want to do next, or should I get one? Best single price deck.
Yeah, let's keep with the decks.
So and this does not need to be a new single price deck, right?
Correct. Correct.
But it does need to be mostly single price. We're going to debate about which of these classify.
Yeah.
So we have the obvious of Lost Zone.
Yeah.
I guess obvious.
And to me, I think we should call it Lost Zone Charizard because it should.
Radiant Charizard.
Yeah, the Radiant Charizard. Yes.
Because then that usually doesn't run multi-prizes, I guess.
It might run one or something, but
it used to not. Now it sometimes runs Roaring Moon semi-consistently.
Well, yeah, I mean, Lost Zone's gotten much more. It runs a lot of different Pokemon with different.
We could just call it Lost Zone single prize because.
Okay, I mean it's for the category, so you just want to call it Lost Zone under the category?
No, I think then because Lost Zone includes a lot of stuff. People aren't all going to read the category. Okay. Yeah, especially because it won't. If you're looking at it, if you click on a community tab, you're going to read the category. But if it gets recommended to some random person, it may just.
All right, so we'll call it either Lost Zone Charizard or single prize Lost Zone.
Yeah, I think Lost Zone Radiant Charizard is fine. That's like a deck.
That's primary. Yeah, that people know that appears on Limitless with that. Because once you have Radiant Greninja, you're more likely to have multi-prizers, right?
Yeah, you're looking at Dragonite, Raikou,
Giratina.
Iron Hands. There are things. So, and then we also have what else do you have?
Well, one being the man of the people, United Wings it definitely gets a nomination, right?
Yeah. Well,
everybody likes it's the new Mad Party. It's not as good as Mad Party. I know you still tell me it's better because the weakness, and I say it's not as good because it does less damage because less cards. But that's not for today's debate. It's probably one of the top 5 single prize decks now.
Yeah. Wait, now I don't.
Well, for the year,
I was scrolling through. Yeah, I was going through the list.
There's not a lot of single prize deck. That's the tough part. So it's potential nominee.
Yeah. I have also being a man of people. I have Snorlax on my list.
Oh, I didn't put that one down.
Yeah, so Snorlax, I don't know if Snorlax belongs.
Snorlax stall.
Yeah. The question is it a single prize deck? I think we were arguing about this.
Because it plays. What multipliers do you play?
Well, you always play Rotom.
Rotom V.
You always play Pidgeot V. You could play Pidgeot EX, but most lists don't. But you could. And
there's the attacker, the
Carbonal V, which is the main attacker.
The only attacker, generally.
Yeah. The other option, I guess this year Erica's Invitation came out, right? Before they play Manaphy, the one.
Yeah, the attacking one, right?
But it also wasn't as good before. But it's still arguably one of the best single prize decks.
Yeah, not to play against, but it's kind of toxic. I mean, and it didn't become a top deck until the last set, until Countercatcher. It was like I said, I think it was borderline top 20 before Countercatcher.
I would say Erica's Invitation helped it. It made it easier as well.
Well, Erica's Invitation was a big plus, right? When you didn't have to attack to gust up from the bench to the active, that was a big add to the deck that it doesn't get as much attention as I think it should for what it does to the deck. But all right, let's I think it's a potential nominee.
Yeah, I think the question is, does it count or not?
Does it count? Yes. And then, do I want to encourage Snorlax being in people's minds?
That's true. Okay, so then we have the classic, the deck of all time, Zoroark.
Yes, one of your favorite decks.
Yeah, Zoroark's fun. I don't play it that often. I was talking to some people, and they said, what is the best, or arguing about, like, what is the best, or no, what is the worst deck that sees play? Like,
so, well, the win rate for Zoroark's usually pretty terrible.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, the deck is kind of pretty terrible, because it just doesn't set, where is it? I've lost it.
And I played it some.
It's not that, it's 46. I mean, that's, like, bad, but, like.
That's not bad. I mean, it's
probably bad, but it's not, like, horrendously awful.
Look, there's top 10 decks that are around that win rate.
Yeah, they're top, but, Zoroark's, like.
It's okay. It's never been great, right? It's been probably multiple times this year with sets coming out. People talk, oh, maybe now's the time for Zoroark, right?
Yeah, I think it's okay. It's hard to play as well. People don't play it and build it right always. Like I don't. People don't dedicate that much time, because if you build it like perfect, you can have like a solid deck. But you just spend a lot of time and effort building the deck.
You do. You also need to.
Your reward for that isn't like that good.
Right. I mean, honestly, you can pick up one of these other top 10 decks, and it's probably going to work at least as well, if not better, with less effort and mental energy. The other thing is Zoroark is a counter deck by its nature, so it wants a defined meta. We have a lot of deck diversity. We have for a lot of the year.
I don't think it's that crazy. Like
no, but what weaknesses are you working for? You can't put them all in.
Well, you're not like weakness, but there are like, I mean, there are some like better weaknesses to hit, but like you're looking at just like scissor punishing abilities.
Yeah.
There are a few things, but mainly punishing abilities.
I don't know if it's a guarantee, but it's definitely a strong consideration.
Yeah.
We mentioned Cloth before, so that needs to come here.
And
that one's a borderline. Is it? And that's the other deck besides Snorlax. Does it qualify? Because Cloth is obviously a single prize attacker that does big damage. What is it? 180?
I think it's 170.
170. Okay.
I don't
remember exactly. But then you have the Hisuian Electrode V that the deck always runs too, right?
So yes. By definition, it's called Cloth Electrode.
Yeah.
It's 190. I was wrong.
190, but then you can pay for it with a DTE, right?
Yeah.
So it can be down to 170 often.
Yeah. So and then I have the other new deck, which is Dondozo Tachigiri.
Yeah.
That one wasn't that good.
Oh, see, this is one I think I'm thinking this one's a definite to go on the nomination.
At first I was thinking that, but then I was like, it's really bad and no one plays it. So
I think it might be like the top win rate. It's near the top win rate for Limitless right now, I think.
Oh yeah, but
it was only played by like one person.
Yeah, one person, and they like did well with it. So if anyone else plays it, it's gonna like plummet.
Yeah, it's 62.5% win rate by one person
with a tie, which like hurts. Like what's its play rate though? When it like came out, it was 35%, like 35th most played, which is
37% win rate.
Yeah,
38. That's not good.
No.
So yeah, Again, the single prize decks aren't great now, and I think Reggie's is still around.
I'd consider that one. I mean,
it was at the start of the year before rotation, right? Still,
that's true. Yeah, it was pretty good. Wait, where was it? It was like really high. It was 4th, so it's pretty impressive. It was played by 1,500 people. Sorry to those 1,500 people for just losing to like.
So of all these decks, this was the best performing deck at one point over the course of the year, right? I mean, maybe
Lost.
Oh well, not better than Lost.
Oh no, it was Lost on Charizard. It might have been better than Lost on Charizard actually.
Maybe
in terms of play rate, not
play
rate, probably. So and then we have.
So what else? That's what do you have to add?
I think that might be Hollis. So what is that? 7,
2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we have 7 here. So some of it, are we gonna look? Do we count Snorlax? Do we count Cloth? If not, if we cut those, then we head down to 5.
Yeah, I'd drop Cloth. I think it's too new. It's not like I don't know. Do you think that's a penalty, or do you not?
No, I don't think the newness is a penalty.
Okay,
I think the problem is the number 2 attacker that's still a big part of the deck is a multi-prizer.
But by that measure, I think like Lost on Charizard, especially now, it like kind of I don't know. I guess we could cut off Cloth and Snorlax. So what else we got? I don't love Dondozo Tachigiri because it's kind of bad.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we got United Wings. Is that a definite?
Yeah, I think United Wings is a definite.
Okay, is Reggie's a definite?
Yeah, it's a definite.
I'll lock it in for now. We could Is Zoroark a definite?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Because it's like one of the defining single prize decks, right? Mm-hmm. That people dream of, that unfortunately crush it. It's a dream crusher, but people still want to make it work.
Yeah.
So then we have Dondozo, Tatsugiri, Cloth, and Snorlax Stall for the last spot.
And Lost Zone.
Well, Lost Zone Charizard, sorry, yeah. We have Lost Zone Charizard.
So you do think
I think that belongs. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels too good.
It is. It's a better deck than all the rest of them. I mean, Snorlax Stall now
arguably it's not
is kind of in that range.
It's good.
And Reggie's before rotation was in that range too. So
yeah.
So do you want to keep Lost Zone in?
I'm not sure. Like, it feels kind of weird to put it, but it probably should be there. Do you think it should be there?
I think so, but you got to try to remember it's a single prize build, which aren't the strongest builds generally.
Yeah, so I'd say we put that, and then we could lock in. I don't think Snorlax belongs there. Okay. It's kind of weird, and it's obviously different. And then
Dondozo Tatsugiri, that one is a true single prize deck.
Yeah,
and has the win rate to show it.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Well, like I'm okay with doing Snorlax. I do Snorlax over Cloth because Snorlax, the active of Pokemon, is the Snorlax 90% of the game.
Yeah, more than that.
Almost all the time, right? The only time you use the Carbuncle is often the mirror.
Yeah.
And some other times, but only once you got your opponent out of switching cards, right?
Yeah. Well, Misfortune
switches everything away.
If you're really losing, you can just throw a Carbuncle.
Yeah.
I'd say we can do Snorlax.
You don't sound happy.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I think the Lost Zone's gonna win. I mean, I think the Lost Zone's the best, which is a bit disappointing. It's not really viewed as a single prize deck because it's
right. Well, so you want to take away Lost Zone? Then you're not happy about.
Do you want? Do you?
Then what are you going to put there? Claw for Dondozo and Tatsugiri to go from Lost Zone to Claw for
I guess we'll keep it. It should be there. It feels bad to leave it there.
I mean, it makes it more competitive if you get rid of it. Obviously.
Yeah, no, it deserves to be there.
Okay. So United Wings, Reggie's, Lost Zone Charizard, Zoroark, Snorlax, Stall.
Yeah.
So take your pick. Remember, single prize.
Yeah.
Only.
And then also, done. So I think this year in terms of meta, I think you said it was good, and I agree. But single prizes were bad.
And with the evolution cards coming out, there was a thought that single prizes might start to be more viable because things slowed down, but it just hasn't proven to be.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gotten worse or if it has gotten better. Like if you look at, I mean, there isn't Italian Engine, which was attacking. City Italian Engine was fine. It was okay for single prizers.
Yeah, you could do some things.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gotten better or worse, but they're not in a great spot right now. It certainly haven't gotten great or anything.
No. Hopefully we get some single prize decks coming down the road. But all right. So next category. Do you want to talk best new tool?
Yeah, let's do best new tool. Tool cards this with Scarlet and Violet, they were changed.
Yes.
Crown Zenith did come out this year as well, so they had tools that were items that I guess they're errata, so they're not.
Right, they still function as tools. They're no longer items, but up to this year's rotation is when it occurred, right? Yeah. Tools no longer are items, which in a lot of cases makes tools worse. You don't get it with Pokestop. Item search cards don't help you with tools, so it makes tools harder to get in play, I think.
Yeah, but then we have cards like Arven and Town Store and cards that are focused on tools, which is kind of interesting.
Right, and we have some strong tools that came out this year, which is why we want to include this. So,
and they cared so much they printed Arven twice. I don't know why they did that. That's annoying. It's just a pain for creating decks.
What do you mean?
They print it in a regular print in Scarlet and Violet, and they print it again in Obsidian Flames with the same art and
it looks the same.
Regulation mark. Yeah, except it's different. So when you import your decks into Live, they're always wrong.
Okay, well that's its own. Yeah, the importing and the different cards and arts is an issue. Yeah. I think they've improved it some.
I don't know. That's what people have said, but I don't think it ever does it right.
I don't know.
I've never seen it change. Anyway, so that's for another day. So first of all, I think I'll say Paradox Rift had the best tools, or had the biggest variety of good tools.
Okay.
Bravery Charm. I forgot about that tool.
Yeah.
So
Kind of feels like an old tool, though. It's on my list, so
yeah. So Bravery Charm from what Paradox or from Paldea Evolve, right?
They Evolve, which adds basic Pokemon gets plus 50 HP, which obviously is the exact same text as Cape of Toughness, if I'm remembering the name right. And that was which just rotated, so we're without that tool.
It's slightly different.
The text was?
Well, because it wouldn't work on GXs.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
Right.
But whatever it was, they rotated. So
right.
It didn't actually rotate. I mean, I think we. Oh yeah, this was Paldea Evolve. So during Scarlet and Violet, we didn't have it.
Right. We had that one thing. Okay. Right.
So we had one set without it.
Yep. So look, it's a good tool. I don't know if it's going to make the list of the top 5 nominees, but it deserves consideration. I would assume you agree with that.
Yeah. And then from the previous set, from Scarlet and Violet, there was an interesting card called Defiance Band. Defiance Band is kind of weird. If you're down, you do 30 more. I mean, it's not that weird, but it hasn't seen a ton of play. But recently it's picked up.
It has. I mean, right. At one point, we're not doing it now, but we're talking about like biggest flop or disappointment. And this is almost a card that could be in that. It's tricky, right? It got a lot of hype, but it just hasn't been. And I've played with it, but honestly, it doesn't usually get me the numbers when I need it.
Yeah.
Because first, you got to get the tool, and of course, you have to be behind the prizes. And half the time, I don't get it, or honestly, when I do get it, I'm not behind the prizes. So I don't love it, but it's potentially very good.
Yeah. And then also the last card that wasn't for me that wasn't a Paradox Gift was Vengeful Punch, which was from Obsidian Flames, I believe.
Okay, Vengeful Punch.
Yeah, so that's if you're KO'd, then if the Pokemon's attached was KO'd, then you put 4 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon, which is nice. It's useful against like Gardevoir and stuff. It's not super played.
It was a tech for certain things, right? Mm-hmm. At certain times.
Yeah, it's all right. I'd say it's actually surprisingly similar to Defiance Band.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be knocked out, right? It's not just damaged, which would make it much better.
You don't have to be from full health, which is nice.
Right, and obviously it's not. You don't have to be behind on prizes for it to work. So, okay. I mean, it wasn't on my list, but it's a consideration.
Yeah. What did you have any other older tools?
I don't think so. Right. Those are all.
Yeah.
So this last set gave us a ton of great new tools.
Yeah. So let's start with the technical machines. We mentioned them earlier. We mentioned TM Evolution. Mm-hmm. So the TMs are tools, but they are discarded after the one turn.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
Right. So don't attach it if you're not going to use it that turn because you're going to lose it.
Yeah. Which to me kind of goes against the idea of tools.
Right. The idea is the tool lasts for a while. You get it in play, and then you can leave it there as long as the opponent doesn't play something like Lost Vacuum. You have it. You would want to attach a tool early in most games and leave it there.
Yeah. But anyway, so TM Evolution says choose up to 2 bench Pokemon and search an evolution from them from your deck. TM Devolution, on the other hand, and these are both one colorless, say you devolve each your opponent's Pokemon by putting the highest stage evolution into their hand. This does not, like, if it didn't evolve from anything, if it was like Archeops from Lugia or like some Zoroark thing.
It doesn't do anything then?
No, I don't believe it does. It doesn't just like get it off the board. Like you can't like, I don't believe
it doesn't take it out of play.
Yeah, it's not an evolved Pokemon. Because I believe it's not.
Oh, is that what it is?
Pokemon. Yeah.
Okay. But obviously the big effect is with the rare candy decks. Especially there's a lot of rare decks with rare candy that don't like to play the stage 1, so now they've burned a rare candy. You can't really recover it, so it makes life much more difficult with it. So, and they're both colorless energy, so there's the potential to tech these cards in any deck. So
TM Evolution obviously is only an evolution-based decks, and not generally in rare candy decks either.
Right.
But then TM Devolution can actually be like teched into anything.
Right. And there's 2 other technical machines, but they're not as strong, right?
Yeah, Blindside's pretty bad. Turbo Energize is a energy accelerator, which is fine. I thought it was going to be better than it was, but it's like okay. The decks it fits in isn't very good.
Yeah, it may be more valuable at some point down the road. Blindside takes 3 energies, so that just changes the whole dynamics of it. But yeah, I think those 2 technical machines Devolution and Evolution are both very strong. I imagine they're in the top 5. I'm pretty sure they're going to get nominations.
I think we'll see.
Okay.
Then we got the booster energy capsules.
Right.
So these are tools, the ones the future and the ones the ancient, which go on those types of Pokemon.
Yes.
Ancient one boosts HP by 60 and stops special conditions. The special conditions thing occasionally applies.
And allows Brute Bonnet to poison, of course, too.
When attached to Brute Bonnet.
Which is part of its use. I mean, that's probably that's more important than stopping your own special conditions usually in the games now.
Wait, what do you? So are you saying? I mean,
you want to be able to poison the Brute Bonnet a lot of times.
Yeah.
So it gets used for that reason.
Because it's necessary.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, how else are you going to get your cloth going?
Yeah. No, that is. It is something.
It's yeah.
And then future booster energy capsule increases damage by 20 and then also removes retreat.
Yeah.
And then it also has this synergy with a different card, which is
Iron Valiant.
Iron Juggernaut. I was specifically.
Because
it does have synergy. It actively is required.
It reduces the energy cost. Is that what it does?
Yeah, from 5 to 3.
And for 5 damage, what does?
150.
Which is just awful, right? I mean, you can do 5
like a Charizard
on a Charizard, Radiant Charizard, and you do 250.
Yeah.
Even at 3 for 150 is not very good.
Yeah. And then let's see, we got. So as you said, it has to do with Iron Valiant though, which is nice because they give you free retreat, but that's like the only use. It's essentially never used for the damage increase, right?
Not really. I mean, well, look, I've done in the Iron Valiant attacking deck. It gets you the 220 number like the other ones, like Miraidon EX and stuff. But no, I mean, look, the tool itself is tremendous. 20 more damage and free retreat. That's awesome. The problem is the Pokemon to work with it aren't great right now.
Yeah. I mean, the Pokemon themselves are good. Like Iron Hands is good. It's not like broken. It's pretty good. And then Iron Valiant is just good, but their attacks don't. I mean, Iron Valiant's attack isn't particularly great, and Iron Hand's attack it just so damage breakpoints are kind of a thing where you want to hit like certain numbers. They're not super defined, but like Iron Hands is nowhere near the damage breakpoint. It doesn't help ever going from 120 to 140. Like that's not a thing.
No.
So
going for 200 to 220 doesn't matter.
That's pretty nice, but like you can also get to 220 of very modular damage by the.
Yeah, it's not a great attacking option. Obviously, the free retreat for that with Iron Valiant is what's the important part there. And in the ancient, obviously with the extra HP helps the Roaring Moon when you knock yourself down to 30 HP. You're not quite so vulnerable with that tool attached. But
honestly, I think it's better when you're not knocking yourself down to 30 because you're at 230 is fine, but you can get one shot. It's not that crazy.
Right.
At 290, it's pretty hard to one shot.
Yes, I agree. So the problem is they're niche tools right now. There's not a lot of good choices to utilize these tools. We're going to get more ancient and future down the road. I just, question is like when we're choosing which 5 to nominate, they're really good. What you can do with them's limited.
Yeah. So we'll look at the other options. And then the last one I have here, which I think is your last one as well, is Luxurious Escape.
Yeah.
Luxurious Escape says that it can only be attached to a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box. And that Pokemon gets 100 extra HP, but then they give up an extra prize when KO'd, which is kind of weird. It's like reverse Heroes and Medallion, or I don't know.
That reduces the HP of a multi-prizer, but also gives up one less prize.
Yeah, and those cards are always kind of bad. I mean, the one got banned because it was too good, but it was actually bad.
Right.
It literally KO'd your own Pokemon, so you could get down to one prize turn 1, but that wasn't like.
Right, and they had reset stamps, so you get your opponent down to one card or hand before they actually played the game. Your opponent's has nothing.
Yeah, you could actually get rid of their entire hand and control their top deck turn 1.
So, but look, I mean, it's not seen a ton of play. Well, it's good with Screamtail.
Let's go with Screamtail, and we're just talking standard as well.
Yeah.
But it's good with Screamtail. It's solid with other things as well.
Right. It's a fun card too. It's a fun option to have for decks, right? Snorlax Stall sometimes plays it, right?
Yeah, Snorlax can play it. I mean, it's a pretty solid card. I'd say so. I think let's look at the nominations.
So
And I'd say the 5 newest ones.
So we have 8 cards altogether here. So I don't think Vengeful Punch is making it. Do you?
No, I also don't think Defiance Man's making it.
No, I agree. I just think it's not. It just doesn't work often enough, from my perspective.
So then there's Bravery Charm. Bravery Charm's
pretty
Charm
good.
belongs there.
The thing is, it essentially is a reprint of Cape. And Cape was on, and then it was only out of format for like one set.
Yeah, but I think it's still
It probably deserves it.
Yeah, and then I think
Then we have the 2 Ancient and Future Booster Energy Capsules, the names that roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
Luxurious Cape and the Technical Machine Devolution Evolution.
I think both TMs have to be
Probably
on there.
make it. Yeah, they're good for a lot of decks.
And then I'd say, what do you think?
Then let's probably drop Cape. Maybe the Ancient and Future Booster Capsules.
Maybe I'd say, I'd probably drop the ancient. Actually, no. You said Brute Bonnet. Yeah, I could drop Luxurious Cape.
Okay.
So yeah, I think let's go with that.
Okay, so keep the 2 capsules, drop Cape. So we're left with the Ancient and Future Booster Energy Capsule, Bravery Charm, the TM Devolution, TM Evolution.
Yep. And so obviously a lot of those are newer cards because there are a lot of tools in the new set. There were 8. And
was that what it was? So
there was 9. Sorry, I was wrong. 9. There's 4 TMs, the 2 Booster Energy Capsules, Curse Duster, Defiance Vest, and Luxurious Cape. So yeah, I think that's
it's a good list of tools. I'm happy with that list, right? I mean,
also we're not counting reprints. I don't know if any would.
Right.
What we had.
I don't remember what there was.
There's EXP Share,
which is very good.
Choice Bell and Vitality Band. Honestly, like EXP Share and Choice Bell, haven't really seen any play.
No,
I've seen some.
I mean, EXP Share is still good though, right?
Yeah, I mean th're like good cards, but just.
And we got Sky Seal Stone.
Yeah, Sky Seal Stone did come out this year.
Oh, that was a Crown Zenith, right?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it was actually pretty good when it came out.
Yeah.
You could one-time EV Max for 4 prizes, which was fun.
Right. For no energy, right?
Yeah, for free.
So, So, okay. So that's our 5 of that. So, we're down to our...
We've done 4 categories.
We've done 5. Yeah, 4 categories. So...
Okay, so I got another category that we haven't named, really. No, it's new life for old card. It's like a card that used to be good, but now... Or that used to be bad.
Or at least not great, and now is...
It's good.
Yeah.
So I had some cards.
Cards. You doesn't sound promising.
No, I got some good ones. I got Gardevoir. I'm just gonna roll through the list. So first of all, I had Gardevoir. Single prize Gardevoir.
Okay.
That wasn't very good, right?
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, it's very good now. Yes.
There was Stonejourner.
I'm just gonna put up Kirlia too then.
Well, Kirlia was better though.
Kirlia was okay.
Kirlia was
better than Gardevoir, but it's way better now.
I don't even know if it's better now. I mean, it's like good in that deck.
So you don't think Kirlia makes it?
I don't think so.
All right, go ahead.
I wouldn't put both on the list. I'd say
no, I know. So you think Gardevoir better than Kirlia?
I mean, I think you agree, right?
I think Kirlia is more important to the Gardevoir EX deck than Gardevoir is.
But it's not even. But if you
just attack with Screamtail, it's fun.
But you didn't have Screamtail for the rest of the year. You could have the Celebration Zacian, which is good, and arguably that belongs on the list. But I'd put Gardevoir over it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Gardevoir, that's one.
Yeah. So I got Stonejourner, the GOAT.
Stonejourner?
The single strike Stonejourner.
Oh.
Which was bad. I think you played it. You liked
in Lugia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I played it as its own deck too earlier.
Do Blue Vein still play? I think they do.
I don't know if they do. Do people play how they play in Lugia now? Is Lugia just colorless in Lugia now?
But,
I mean, that's fine. I don't think that one's getting there, but
I don't know. It was like really bad. Like it was like just not good at all.
I think we have better candidates, but okay.
Okay, and
let's keep going, or I can read some off. Yeah. You want me to read some off?
No, actually, I want to go through my list, then we'll go through yours. I got Flaffy. Flaffy wasn't that good, and now it's good.
Yeah,
arguably, it was better, and it's not as good now. Like it would compared to Gardevoir, I'd say it used to be better.
Yeah.
Maybe, and then it's not as good as Gardevoir now, but it's decent.
Yeah, no, Flappy's on my list of potentials. We both have pretty long lists for this one, so some narrowing down.
Not massive. But then I have Rotom V as well as Snorlax for control. I know you would
Snorlax too.
Yeah.
So you said block Snorlax.
Yeah, block Snorlax.
Okay. Yeah.
Both of you could have the other Snorlax, but I wouldn't. But both
attacking Snorlax.
Yeah. I don't know if you had that. I'd say it was
like
okay.
Lost on some.
It was okay.
Year, right?
It's not even like super broken.
No.
It's pretty good now, but like.
I mean, I think block Snorlax is hard to beat on this list.
Maybe. It was. I guess
it was a year ago. It was nothing. A year.
It was
ago. Right. Basically.
Yeah, and I know you would swear by Rotom V being like good. As like the best
good
attacker in the game.
Exactly. Yeah. You get those.
It's not.
No.
It's bad.
And it's not just in the Snorlax deck, Rotom V, right?
No, it's in
played it in Dialga.
Yeah,
remember early days of Dialga?
Yeah, and then you have Charizard and Chien-Pao, I guess. I don't think Chien-Pao plays it that much.
Right.
But
okay.
Yeah. And then I have Shadow Rider.
Shadow Rider? All right, I'll write it down. I feel bad. That's just a waste of
I'll tell you why. Then Rapture VMAX, that one got better.
Well, it was
Rapid Strike,
like all last year. It's been solid.
Maybe
the whole
Rapid
time.
Strike, and then I also had Medicham V and Radiant Alakazam, which kind of go with it.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, obviously you're trying to fill this list with one deck, but okay, Medicham. I mean, I think
I would include multiple cards from one deck.
I think Radiant Alakazam. Because that's in other decks too, right? That's in Iron Valiant, which is we get to Medicham V, but obviously not Urshifu and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I think Radiant Alakazam has made a more of a run.
Yeah. Okay. What are your cards? I think your cards.
Is that your list?
That was my list.
I got a lot more. I have Hisuian Electrode V.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, it was nothing.
I don't think. I know.
It's not a Cloth Electrode is a decent deck.
It's an okay deck.
Right?
It's not like a great deck.
All right, I'm going to name some of these. All right, so Fog Crystal, better than Shadow Rider.
No, but you're both Alamar played it. No, I think it was okay.
It wasn't played that much. It's better now, right?
It was played in Shadow Rider. Yeah. Shadow was bad for a while. And then it was played in. It was played in. The deck was. It was played in some like good deck.
Yeah.
I've forgotten now.
It's been. So you don't think it belongs?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Pokestop. There's a huge rise in Pokestop.
Yeah, that's true.
So that definitely could be, right?
Yeah.
There's like Pokestop builds of multiple top decks.
That played in both.
And I'd like to play that, yes. Mm-hmm. And Castform too.
That's true.
So.
No,
Pokestop, yes, could be there, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's the only good one you said so far.
We got Dark Patch.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
I mean, Roaring Moon.
I'm trying to think how good it was before. It was okay. It was okay in Gengar. It was okay in.
It didn't see a lot of play.
No, I don't think it's like super insane or anything now. It's good now, though. I don't hate that.
It's not a garbage suggestion like some of them. Okay. Magma Basin.
I don't think Magma Basin's that good right now.
What are you talking about?
What deck is it good?
All right. Well, we'll come to MTV shortly. That one. Yeah, I'm gonna make a big case. I'm gonna have to talk for 5 minutes to talk into that one.
5 minutes are enough to end the podcast.
All right. This one you will say was long, but Irida.
That was like the best.
It was very good, but then it fell off a little bit, and then it became the best card again when Excalibur came out.
I don't know if it was the best card. I'd say it was worse than it was a year before. So
you're gonna nix that one.
That one went down.
Okay, let's see. I'm looking at my non-Pokemon first. So, all right, I have two of them here. One, you're not gonna say it, but Switch Cart. It was played in Lost Zone, but now it's good.
It's played in Lost Zone again,
and a bunch of other decks.
Played in some other decks. It's like
Iron Valiant.
I don't think
healing aspect.
I don't think it went up that much. I think it.
So you don't think so?
Yeah, I don't think it's an awful candidate, but I think there are definitely better ones. I think Shadow Rider is definitely a better candidate.
Shadow Rider.
No, I don't know about Shadow Rider.
All right,
probably not Shadow. You can go to Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider is kind of bad.
Okay.
it was really bad before. The reason it was like horrendously garbage.
Fell off.
Before.
It was nothing at one point. Look, we both have played Shadow. We both like Shadow Rider.
Yeah,
it's got that potential, but it's a potential fall short. All right, this is the one item I think has to make it rare candy.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah,
because this is the EX is the stage 2s, Charizard's Pidgeotto. So okay, so I think that makes the list. All right, this is here's a supporter. You're going to say no, but research, it's made a big comeback lately.
You've been like, oh, research used to be so bad.
It probably has been more this year. Earlier this year, Dex didn't play a lot of research.
Yeah, no, I think
research was like a staple. It's become much more common again.
I don't think Dex really played for research now still. Like, right. What deck would play?
It probably doesn't make it research, but research has made a resurgence. So, okay, so I have my 2 Pokemon. Resurgence and research?
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah, so resurgence. So Regidrago V-Star. How about that one? It's better.
Yeah,
you've got.
You've
got Noivern EX first off.
I think the big issue is that it was barely out before this year.
Well, okay, but it was out.
I was technically out. I wasn't even like that.
And you have cards that make it better. You have at least 3 cards here. Well, you're gonna say one of them makes it worse, but Noivern EX definitely makes it better.
Yeah.
You have Charizard EX that it can be paired with. Right?
Is that one of the ones that definitely makes it better?
It does make it. It's one way to get the energy.
It is a way to do it. It's not a good way
because you need the 2 grass. No, I get it. And then the other way is the Fortress EX.
Yeah, that's Fortress EX. That's a card.
So you don't like Regidrago V-Star?
No, I think it's substantially it barely qualifies, but it doesn't.
Then I'm going to put in the people's choice for my last plea, and that's NTV.
NTV
last year wasn't great. It's better now, right?
It's better now. Yeah,
it's a lot of play. Once Charizard came out, it started seeing play because in Charizard it was if you went first, if you went second, you could attack with it turn.
Yeah, I don't think Entei is a horrible choice, but let's look at the list.
And Iron Valiant, right? Iron Valiant's a top deck too.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think so. NTV is a possibly. All right. So you want me to start reading through things?
Yeah.
All right. We have Stonejourner.
We don't have to include that, but I don't know. I think it's a consideration.
All right. We have Gardevoir, the single prize.
I think that has to be there.
Maybe
it's we went from garbage to the best deck in the game. Okay,
we have Rapid Strike, Urshifu. The problem with that is Urshifu was pretty good.
I'd probably say Radiant Alakazam from that deck.
Yeah, I think not. It's just been pretty good the whole time.
That's fair.
It's been up and down, but I'd
say it's gotten better this year. But.
All right, so I'll drop that one off. Rotom V.
I wouldn't include it.
Probably not. Okay, I'm not going to cross it off yet.
Yeah.
I think Snorlax.
Yeah.
The downside of Snorlax is only became good with the last.
I'm tempted not to say Snorlax. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
But I think it wasn't it went from nothing to.
I wouldn't say it went from nothing. I say it went from top. Let's say top 20.
Well, that was even earlier this year. It wasn't that level before.
When it was Pokemon Go?
It was last year.
Yeah.
I don't know when, right?
So when was how Snorlax played in Silver Tempest?
It got better when Erica's Invitation came out.
Yeah. I don't hate Snorlax, but I mean I do, but I don't hate Snorlax.
All right, it's not definite. Right now we have Gardevoir. There's a definite. We have NTV.
I could see that.
Okay. So
I know you want that.
Well, we'll see. All right. I think this is a definite rare candy.
Yeah, I think rare candy has to be there.
Because the stage 2 EX is unfortunately not the single prize.
Well, that's Albert. But that's good. Although your attack was an EX.
That's true. But yeah, you are evolving a single prize there. So probably rare candy, let's say. We had Medicham, Radiant Alakazam. You think Radiant Alakazam is the strongest candidate? We're not going to do both those, right?
Yeah, I could see going either way, though.
Yeah, I mean, Medicham's huge.
I'd say if you want Entei, then we do Radiant Alakazam.
All right, well, let's see what else we get to. We have a Hisuian Electrode V. You think it's not good enough, right?
No, I don't think it's good enough.
That's fine. I think it's probably a little weak.
You could play it before as well, I think.
Then we have two. We have Dark Patch.
Maybe.
And we have Flaffy.
I kind of like Flaffy. So Gardevoir.
I'm inclined to say Flaffy. Say Gardevoir, Rare Candy, and Flaffy.
Yeah, it's a Gardevoir, Rare Candy, Flaffy, and then Radiant Alakazam, and Entei. I think they're. Oh no, you didn't say Pokestop.
Pokestop. Oh yeah, Pokestop. So we want Pokestop. You want Flaffy still?
I could cut Flaffy. I could say Gardevoir, Pokestop,
Rare Candy,
Radiant Alakazam, Entei. I'd rather say Flaffy than Entei, but if you want Entei over Flaffy.
So Flaffy or Entei, so not Stonejourner, right?
No, I don't think so.
And not Rotom V.
No, I don't think Rotom V.
Okay, and not Snorlax? See, that one's a tough one too, right?
I'd say not Snorlax.
All right, we're giving Snorlax no love here.
Oh no, I feel so bad.
No, I think it made our best single prize deck.
Oh yeah.
So okay. So then we got Gardevoir, Rare Candy, Pokestop, Rain Alakazam. I think Flappy. So it's Flappy or Entei, right?
Yeah.
I think
Flappy does deserve it more.
Yeah. I mean,
it's been better longer.
It started earlier being good, right?
Yeah, and it was also bad. Like Entei was like kind of playable. Like Entei was like the only good spot in Fire outside of Radiant Charizard.
Yeah, yeah. If you want, because Magma Basin is obviously a really nice stadium. It just didn't have good Pokemon. Entei V was probably the best with it. So okay, so Gardevoir, the single prize from what set is this from, Gito?
Chilling Reign.
Chilling Reign. Okay, Rare Candy, Pokestop, Rain Alakazam, Flaffy. So a very.
Wait a second. Wait. Rare Candy. It's not the same Rare Candy. It's fine.
Is what?
Well, it like rotate. Like it's like.
Did it actually rotate?
It didn't rotate.
It's the same Rare Candy that we had last year, right?
Yeah, it does the same thing. So
it just.
I guess it never. It's like a new art. So it wasn't.
Well, it probably has a new regulation mark on it, right? But it's still.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That's fine.
Yeah, but the old Rare Candy was still legal this format, correct? Or did it rotate?
No, yeah, I think the only Rare Candy legal is.
Oh, the other ones are D block?
Yeah.
So does it not qualify?
That's I think. Oh no, there's an F block.
So there's an F block already.
Oh, there are multiple F blocks. Yeah,
okay, so it definitely qualifies.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's a very solid list there.
How many categories do we have? 2 left, or we have 1 left?
We have 1 left. So we have 2, 3, 4. So we've done 5 categories. And then the last one, you said this one didn't have a name. The last one doesn't really have a name either. Like silliest, weirdest, wackiest card, right?
Yeah, these are cards that don't necessarily make a ton of sense. I got a weird list here.
I have a list.
Yeah, so I think I know more cards than you know. I know more bad cards. I've played more bad cards. I want to hear your list first.
All right. Well, this first one, which is the card when we were talking about it, was the card that started this category, I think, and that's Snorlax Doll. So why don't you want to read the text off that, or you want me to?
Yeah, I got it. So it says there's an item.
Yeah,
I guess.
It is an item.
It is an item,
except when it's in play.
Yeah, well, it still might be an item. So if this card is in your hand when you're sitting in play, you may put it face down in the active or the bench as if it were a 120 HP basic colorless Pokemon. It doesn't have weakness, so the typing doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then you can only do this when you're setting up play. It can't get put into play any other way, as far as I'm aware. Right. At any time during your turn, you would discard it. So it's kind of a pivot, but not like a really good one because you can't get it back.
But not like the old doll, Lily's Pokédoll that would go back in your deck and you could play it later in the game. You're done with it.
Yeah, and then it can't be affected by special conditions. It can't retreat, but if it's KO'd, your opponent doesn't take any prizes, and it has 120 HP.
Right.
It's kind of weird. I believe it's actually glitched in live as well. Someone said it was. I can't confirm it, but
okay. In what way you couldn't play it? Or you could.
You can't if you have a basic. If it's the only quote-unquote basic Pokemon in your hand, you can't start
if you don't have an actual Pokemon that's
which I'm assuming is a glitch.
I think so.
At the end of the day, the card's bad.
I don't know what it says, actually, right? Because technically, until it's in play, it's not a Pokemon. So does it say if it's the only card in your hand, you can play it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd assume there's a card called Luxray. Is Luxray on your list?
No.
No. So there's a Luxray that says it's similar. It has to be in the active. And that you can start. So
anyway, the fact that it has to be in your starting hand. You can't. It's not. If it was limited, if you could at least play it on your first turn, it would have some value, right? The fact that it's starting hand only makes it virtually unusable, I would say.
Yeah, it's really bad. I'd say it's like I played it in a deck that was like not good.
Yeah.
It might be the worst deck I've played in my channel. It probably isn't. It wasn't actually that bad. Like it surprisingly wasn't. It seemed really bad. It was like Gardevoir EX with only like 1 basic, but
yeah, you were just trying something to be for fun.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like it's weird, but it's not like.
I mean, obviously 120 HP, no prizes is very appealing. You can attach like a technical machine to it.
Yeah.
And you could, you went second, but you have to have it in your starting hand to get it to play it in play. So it's just so unlikely.
Yeah, you can also luxurious cape it, so it still gives up no prizes.
But it gets 220
HP, which is a bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Again, the fact that you'd have to play 4 of them, which is a bunch of which is meaningful deck space, and you're still not going to hit it most of the time.
It depends how many basics you run. So
that's true. You could just take a lot of mulligans with just 1 basic. Yes.
So
you want to keep going?
Yeah.
So some of these are just bad cards, and maybe we don't want to do it. Like Delivery Drone.
Delivery Drone's kind of bad. It is bad.
You've never played it, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever even considered playing it.
It lets you search for any card in your deck and put it into your hands,
which is super good.
2 coin flip, 2 heads.
Yeah.
So it essentially doesn't do anything.
It's just a card.
Mew.
Right, Mew. The idea, we can play it. We can fit our hand with it, right?
And if you flip double heads, obviously it's very good.
Right, and you're flipping a lot of coins anyway with the Chromatic. So just you'll play what 4 of them. You'll probably get 1 card.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, but that's not like good.
No, it's not good.
It might be okay, like if you hit it much.
But. So it's I don't know if it's weird. There's Dendra.
Yeah, you mentioned this to me before.
And I believe it's supporter, and you put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck, and then draw to 5. Just the fact that you put a card on the bottom of your deck is kind of strange.
Why? I don't think it's that weird.
It's okay.
I think it's pretty normal.
Okay.
No, it's not that normal, but it's not like that crazy. Like it's kind of like Caitlyn, which is still in format.
So you think it's just a bad choice?
Yeah, it's not even like that bad.
Delivery Drone. You don't think it fits the category?
Yeah, I think Delivery Drone could be, but I got some stuff.
All right, well, I got a couple here that maybe I think Alakazam EX.
Yeah.
Just because what it brings to the game is completely different. It's kind of insane.
It acts from the bench for those of you who don't know.
Which is actually pretty insane to add that something that's not been in the game for 20 plus years, tossing it in.
It's a big Kadabra.
What? No, I mean the attacking for the bench, right? You've never been able to
when was that in the game? You said
no. You've never in the 20 plus years in the
game. Yeah.
So that's a huge deal.
The Kadabra part was also a huge deal.
Yeah, I was also going to say if we were doing our biggest flop that it could go for that because it's not been great. But that's not the point here.
Mm-hmm. And that was relating to hype as well because it was Kadabra or because of the Alakazam EX.
Well, because of Alakazam's attacking from the bench, right?
Yeah.
It was a big
deal. It's clearly not that good. It only was 120.
Right. I still haven't I think there must be some solution for expanded to make something really.
I don't know. Toxic. There are ways to you could do Weezing. You could ability lock or something. But.
Yeah. So Ditto with the transformative start, which is an odd one, I will say.
Yeah. Oh, and I did not include funny names. I'm assuming you didn't either.
No.
There are a few. There's 2 Ferocious and Amphi
very much. Yeah.
And there's there's some weird one. There's one that was I don't remember. There's some weird Dondozo. But anyway.
Okay. So why don't you read Transformative Start? Because I think that's a bit of an odd one.
So once during your turn, I don't know why it says once during your turn. That's an ability. If this Pokemon is in the active, you may search check for in terms of basic Pokemon you find there except Ditto, which can't be a different Ditto either or the same type of Ditto. But if you do, discard this Pokemon, all attach cards and put the chosen Pokemon in its place. Honestly, I thought it kept the cards. It doesn't. I've seen this play. It kind of thins your deck.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way if you have a Pokemon that you really need to start, it increases the odds that you need in the active for your turn, right? You can put multiple Dittos in to increase to become that card.
Yeah, the issue is later on just is bad because it doesn't do anything. You do have Splup. Your attack was just 10 for 1.
I did talking about funny names.
I did not know that.
So someone was having fun that day.
Yeah.
So it's an
art. It's a fun art as well. It's a Ditto and rocks. It's kind of fun. Yeah. It's not camouflage, but it's it's fun.
Yeah. So it's an odd card, right? You would agree? One of my favorite odd cards, and that's Medicham. That has
which Medicham?
The one with the ability, the Guts ability, which has obviously been around.
Machamp.
Machamp?
Yeah,
you know what they say?
You said Medicham.
Oh, yeah, I always say that. Right. So I broke Machamp here. So it's got Guts. If it would be knocked out, you flip a coin, and if it's heads, you could put 10 damage on it instead. And then an attack for 2 energy and it's a stage 2. It does 100 damage, which is certainly underwhelming, but then you also mill 2 cards. It's just a weird mix of things.
Yeah, I'd say it's bad. You played it, right?
I played it. It wasn't good. It took a lot of games to get something very mediocre out of it. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
But it's a strange mix on a Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then this one you're not going to say, but Skwovet, its ability is it's good, but it's really
the
generally
best one, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but the fact you put your hand on the bottom of the deck and draw one card is, on the face of it, very horrible.
Yeah, I think I hyped this card up a bunch. I think it's okay. It ended up being okay.
Yeah, no, and it's still Skwovet Bibarel is a solid combo if you want to build a deck that way.
Is that
That's what I have.
Okay, so I got a bunch. I think you only said a few. You didn't say Fortress.
Oh, Fortress EX, my boy there.
So yeah, so Fortress EX dies. It has an ability where it like knocks itself out, and it's an EX. So it gives up 2 prizes, but then you accelerate up to 5 grass energy from your deck to Pokemon any way you like, which is like super good. But there aren't really any like good targets, so it's just kind of bad.
Well, because the grass energy is not what you need. Yeah. I mean, honestly, because now we have all these comeback cards. We have Defiance Band. What band is it? Belt, whatever.
Defiance Band, Iono, Defiance.
Countercatcher.
Yeah, Countercatcher.
You can Countercatcher turn 1 with it. No, not turn 1, turn 2. Sorry.
Yeah. Then
yeah,
it's funny. It's bad.
Stage 1, right?
I'm sorry. Stage 1.
Yeah, stage 2. Okay.
I think I don't know if you said it wrong.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Then we got this one isn't a weird card, but it's a weird choice. Literally, it's choice spell, which is. It does your attacks to the Pokemon this card is attached to do 30 more to once active V. Nothing crazy. That's actually pretty normal.
Okay, so
what it was printed when they were running Pokemon V. So
it came out this year.
It came out this year. So all the Pokemon V's are going to rotate, and then
because they updated it's not just a new art. They put a new regulation mark on it.
Yeah.
Right?
So I don't know what that was about. I don't know if this like qualifies, but like why did they do that? I don't know why. It's not like it was. It's not like. Because it came out in Brilliant Stars, so it would have rotated when all the V's rotated. Right. It's not like it would have rotated before the V's and we wouldn't have had it.
So it came out in Scarlet and Violet.
How they evolve.
So it's got the silver border of the new cards. I guess people want to play it with the new border.
Maybe I'd say the art looks worse anyway. Because the other art's like more vibrant. So in my opinion, it looks like better. You have a secret rare. You have this art, which to me I like the older art more. I mean, it's not like bad to anyone, but like, why does this exist?
It doesn't make any sense, right? It's not some secret, some hyper rare art, which obviously the rare arts they come up with, and they reset the regulation mark, and it's not playable once. Unless maybe is this the Pokemon signaling the V's are coming back?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No. So okay, it's fair enough. I don't
VX,
know.
VEX. You're gonna have Terra VEX tag.
Livia V and an EX.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. Next up, I got an interesting Pokemon, Porygon Z.
Okay. Which one?
How do I spell this? I guess
it's a dash, right?
But Limitless does it differently. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so with Buggy Turbo, first of all, it's attack energized. Attack is 40 damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon.
Yeah,
which is fine. It's nothing crazy. It's kind of
right.
Yeah. But it's stage 2, and then Buggy Turbo. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, attach up to 4 basic energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. If tails, discard 1.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird. Obviously, it's like it's very swingy. Losing one's not that big of a deal, but it's also like weird.
Well, if you get a bunch up on your bench, you flip each one every turn, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you only get one total, but of course there's stage 2s.
Yeah, and they're all different. It's like you're not getting a bunch of energy on one. You're getting
spreading around.
Yeah.
You want to flip heads on it while it's on the bench a couple times to get the big damage.
Yeah. So I can't imagine this is good. I've not tried this. If anyone's tried this,
no. I mean, you're making me want to try it. I gotta say.
Yeah. But. So this one's kind of weird. Then I have a question. Do you like Versus Seeker?
Versus Seeker is very good.
Versus Seeker is very good. Do you know there's a card almost exactly like Versus Seeker that's a little bit different?
Okay.
A little bit worse. It says Spirit Return. When you play this Pokemon, from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, during your turn you may put a supporter card from your opponent's discard pile into their hand.
Yeah, that one's
it does help the stage 2, which does more for each trainer in their hand, but like
yeah,
like it's
you get to choose it at least,
you
right?
You do. So hopefully you'll maybe you'll recover Avery and then you'll be on and then better stop.
And then if only it forced them to play it and you could get rid of your damaged Pokemon.
Yeah, but so that
was pretty messed up, I gotta say.
Yeah. So that's a funny card. It's bad. It is bad and it's really funny. Yeah, I do Machamp, and then I have a few interesting ones. I have Sandshrew next.
Okay.
This one's not the craziest, but it says it's kind of weird. It's a basics. Trainer cards in your opponent's discard pile can't be put back into their deck by an effect of opponent's item or supporter cards. Stops Palpad and
So what opponents can't be put into their deck. Okay, it's not into the hand
yeah,
thing.
so it can stop Silene if they recover trainers.
Effects of
They can stop,
item or supporter. Okay.
yeah, so it can stop Team Yellow's.
So not an attack, which
Yeah,
there's
it's
no attack
weird.
to
It's
it.
niche.
Yeah. So it's an anti-control card, which
But, like,
the world
it's-
doesn't really need those.
It's like weird. It's very weird, and it's not like
Yeah.
that good. I don't know if it
No.
deserves to be on this list.
I don't know if it does it. Yeah.
It like makes you a little confused. Like you read it and you like read it again, right? And
Yeah,
it's
like it's like trying to figure out, wait, it's stopping what from doing what?
Yeah, it's kinda like Toad School
because there's
as
not a
well.
logic
Yeah.
to it. There's no
But, and
logic
I'd consider Toad School, but Toad School is decent. And more clear what it stops as well. It does
Right.
the Pokestop thing is kind of weird, but that's because of Pokestop being weird.
Yeah, the way the cards are phrased.
Yeah.
Is,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and then I got Rabaska. I don't know if
Rabaska.
Rabaska. How do I spell this?
Oh, I don't know. All right, let me try to look.
Yeah.
Got
Let's
it.
see. No, I did not get it. It's
What type is it?
it's psychic. So I don't remember. I think it might be Paradox Rift. I actually don't think it's Paradox Rift. It might be how they evolved. Yeah, I got it. It's Rabska, Rabska.
Yeah, okay. That was my next thing.
So, Revival Blessing, put a Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. Which
Okay.
recovers, but it can like accelerate, like can just put a stage 2,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. But it's your attack, right? So,
Right.
it's not the most interesting, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's not terrible. Honestly,
No.
it's not a terrible card. It's not. I mean, Pokemon prints many terrible cards every set, it just is what it is. I'm not trying to be critical of it, but this one you could make an argument that you could play it.
yeah. Anyway, I don't know if that one. Also, Rabska is kind of a weird concept for Pokemon because it's like a dung beetle.
Okay.
But then I think it like becomes the dung, and then because it's psychic, so it's psychically controlling the beetle from the dung.
Oh, the dung's controlling the beetle.
I'm not really sure
What's
what
going on here?
happens.
Okay.
It would probably make more sense if I played the games, but I didn't. So that's one. Probably doesn't make it. Then we got
more still.
more. We got more. We
Okay.
got Oranguru. This one, I think. Did you play? I know I
Which
played.
Oranguru?
Primate Acting. Choose a supporter from your opponent's discard pile and use the effect of that card as the effect of this attack.
Okay, I haven't used that one. No.
Okay, so I made a deck around this.
Okay.
So you can, but this doesn't give you a lot of control because it's based on what your opponent's playing.
Right, but it's what's in the discard pile, so it's not like
Yeah, it's
the
not
one
random.
that's like you use supporter from their hand where you don't know what's in the hand,
Yeah.
like some older cards.
But so this is kind of weird because you're kind of like using your opponent's style stuff.
Right.
I don't know. I thought it was fun. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's that weird, but
I
it's
don't
kind of weird.
know. Yeah.
No, then we got Digging Duo, the classic. Which is what does this do again? It's flip a coin. If heads, this is a supporter.
Okay.
You said Dendro is weird. Flip a coin. If heads, look at the bottom 8 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand. If tails, look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck and put one of them into your hand.
It's an odd one. Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's like random. It's just strange. Like, why do you want to be looking at the bottom of your deck and like taking cards?
Well, if you get Iono, right? It's the
Yeah, but why
Iono
do you want,
counter.
like, I
you
guess
only
it's
get
like-
one, or no, you
Yeah,
get.
so you get one. It's like not good either. Like even looking
No.
at if it was looking at the bottom 8 and get one, or look at the top 8, or if you could choose, like it would still be bad.
Right. If you didn't have the coin flip, you always had look at the bottom 8 and put one in your hand. You probably don't ever play it.
Yeah, because you only get one card.
Right.
And usually the only one card that can make a difference would be like a supporter, but it's your supporter. So.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
And then lastly, I forgot about this card until we were looking at other cards. I misspelled it. Patrol Cap. I think.
And what's that?
As long as this card is, as long as the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot,
Yeah.
cards in your deck can't be discarded by effects of your opponent's attacks, abilities, item cards, Pokemon tool cards, or supporter cards.
Wait.
So it stops mill,
Okay. Yeah.
but it's like a tool that's attached to the active. Which is like, why is it a tool that stops mill? Like, why isn't it like?
And it stops. This is the counter to Snorlax Stall, too, right?
but only if they're running the Cravano aspect. But they're also gusting.
No, it's a fact. But you can still retreat with it, right? You can. You could retreat if you have a free retreat Pokemon with this tool. It stops the effects of ability.
No, it stops from discard.
Oh, it can't be discarded.
No, it just stops the mill. It just stops the mill.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's not good.
No, that's no. I don't. I mean, unless they're planning like they made Black Snorlax with a big good deck, maybe they're planning on making some super mill deck soon.
Yeah, like Durant, but it's like
right. It's like 4 cards per Durant.
Yeah. Like it's exponential. It's like mill 1 card per Durant Durant or something.
Now is the card in format? There was one card that was if it's discarded from your hand by your opponent, then you like win the game. Wasn't it like
no,
that?
No, it wasn't. You win the. Wait, was that this year?
Is it or is it rotated? I'm trying to remember what that one is.
No, that wasn't. That was last. That's Silver Tempest. That was not Among Us. Among Us with surprise spores that says if it was discarded from your hand by an effect of an attack or ability from your opponent's Pokemon, or by an effect of an opponent's item or supporter card, discard your opponent's hand.
Oh, you discard. They lose their hand. Okay,
but like it's something that like never would ever happen.
Yeah.
So I think I think you could do it with Spirit Mask. Well, no, they wouldn't even work anymore with Spirit Mask because Spirit Mask isn't an item anymore. But previously
right.
could.
You have to have some way to force your opponent to discard from you, right?
Yeah.
To really make it work.
But it needs to, on their turn.
On their turn.
So. Because you can use a Rangu to do it on your turn. Okay. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know. It's very strange.
Is there any way to actually trigger?
I think Spirit Mask used to trigger, but now it doesn't because it's not an item. Yeah, but that's not in this discussion. Okay. So right now, what are you thinking?
All right, we got. Well, I think Snorlax Doll is there, right?
Yeah, I think you want
kind of the. You agree with that, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Delivery Drone is just bad, probably, right?
Yeah, I think that
goes. I think Alakazam EX could be.
Maybe. It's weird.
It's very different. The Ditto with the Transformer Stall. No.
It's kind of weird, but
I mean the Machamp with all the stuff.
I'd say that's in consideration.
Squirtle is no.
No,
right?
Yeah, I don't think you think so.
No. So Fortress EX.
Maybe.
I'm probably not. The Choice Belt. I don't think it qualifies.
That's fine. I guess so. It's weird.
I don't know why they did it. It doesn't make any sense.
It's very strange, but the card itself isn't that weird.
Right. Choice Belt makes sense. The Porygon Z, that did what again?
You did flip coin if heads, discard, or accelerate, and if tails, discard.
Yeah, I mean,
probably not.
Probably not. The Haunter that does.
I think that recovers your opponent's supporters into their hand.
I think that one probably makes the list. So I'm going to give that was probably in. Okay, so. And let me think here. So the Sandshrew
that stops your opponent recovering trainers using items or supporters into the deck.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just confusing.
It's weird.
A lot of it. Yeah. So the Rabsca,
which recovers a Pokemon onto your bench. I wouldn't say.
No, I don't think that does. So the Oranguru its attack does what again?
It copies your opponent's supporter in the discard.
Maybe. I don't think that one's terrible though. I don't know that I like it for this.
Yeah.
It seems to make too much sense for what we're looking for. So Digging Duo was that one was really terrible.
That one was the supporter coin. If you get a card from the bottom, certain number.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly a terrible card.
Yeah.
Is it weird? It's the fact that it goes from the bottom is the weirdest part, right?
And you flip a coin.
Yeah. But I could see you do it from the top of your deck.
Yeah, no, I'd say it's not that weird.
Okay, it's just again really bad. And then Patrol Cap, which is
I think that one's
anti-mill
tool.
I
think that one definitely makes it.
Yeah,
it's why does it exist?
So Snorlax Doll, Haunter, Patrol Cap. Then in the running, Alakazam, Machamp, Fortress, Sandshrew.
Right. I'd say I kind of like.
So
what do you want?
Those?
I would do Alakazam EX. It's weird.
You would not?
Yeah, it's not that crazy.
Okay.
It's definitely something that if you were playing with your friends and just making rules up, you'd make it up and just something.
You would. It's a big change, I guess.
It's a big. Theoretically, it's a big change, but functionally, it's not actually. It doesn't do anything interesting.
I guess not. Well, attacking for the bench is
in concept it seems really interesting, but in actuality it's
all right.
Really boring.
And the Sandshrew again is
the anti-recovery.
Okay. Yeah, from certain things.
So, and then
So Machamp, Sandshrew, Fortress. We need 2 of those 3.
yeah, I think Fortress.
Okay, knocking yourself out for 5. And 5 energies is good, obviously.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's a
It's
pretty
like,
balanced card, honestly.
I guess
think.
it's balanced. It's kind
Well,
of
on a single prize,
bad.
it'd be way too good.
Well, yeah.
Right? And if it giving it more than 5, if it gave 6, if you got 6.
How much did Electrode? There's an Electrode.
Yeah, the expanded one.
Well, there's a GX, but there's a single prize one as well. There's a Lightning. Oh, there was only 2. Okay, yeah. Then Electrode GX was better, though. That one was special energy. It wasn't as any type, which was much better.
And you had the Tapu Koko, Prism Star.
Well, that lost him to self, but it didn't.
You don't give a prize.
Yeah.
I mean, two prizes is rough, obviously.
Yeah. And then
Sandshrew or Machamp.
Which do you want to do?
I'll let you choose.
I think let's do Machamp.
Okay. I like them. Yeah, I think it's.
I think the Sandshrew is funny because it's kind of weird, but
they just tossed a bunch of stuff together randomly.
Yeah.
Right. Someone was tired or whatever they were doing that day. Right.
And that's why 151 has like a bunch of weird cards because that had Machamp. It had the Haunter. It had the Sandshrew.
So we have Snorlax Doll, Machamp, Fortress EX, Haunter, and Patrol Cap. So we'll have to come up with a name for what we call this wackiest, weirdest, silliest.
Best cards ever.
Best VDI, best card in format, right?
Yeah.
Of some garbage format there.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm liking that. So that's what we got. So we'll take a look you vote under the community tab for the categories best new tool, weirdest, wackiest, silliest card, new life for old card, best new deck of the year, best single prize deck. And then we will announce what wins and kind of make some comments on how the voting turned out in our next podcast.
Yep. We might be competing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we will or not.
We'll see.
We might.
Yeah. But we hope you enjoyed, and we hope you enjoy your holiday season as well. So that is now. It's right around the corner as well. The Christmas is right around the corner, and
then the New
Year's, which is.
So it's like 2 weeks, basically, a little over 2 weeks from our time of recording.
Yeah. Oh, that is okay. Yeah. So the New Year's is also.
Well, the podcast drops on a Monday, so the one next. Right. So we have this one, then we'll drop on Christmas Day, and then New Year's Day.
Yep. So if you have any ideas, you can comment those down below as well. For like special things, we potentially might push it back. I don't think we.
What's that?
Are we gonna push? You don't think we're gonna push the voting back?
Give them 2 weeks? You mean?
Yeah.
Do you think we need that?
No, I don't think so. But you always complain that.
I think we'll get enough time. I mean, look, I never liked doing these lists before the year ends. But what I will say is all the cards are out.
Yeah, I think it would be weird. Like if a card came out like near the end of or a set came out at the end of December, it'd be kind of
then
weird.
We'd have to wait.
Yeah. Of course, they wouldn't really have any chance to make much of an impact if it's like a week.
Right.
Obviously, stuff could change. Right, the meta could change a little, but like. At the end of the day, if like a few things change.
Yeah, but if they printed a super good card, it still could be the best card or something.
That's true.
Certainly could be a weird card or.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are some weird cards as well that we didn't include. We only included cards you can actually play, because they print like weird cards that you can't play.
Yeah.
Like they printed like a person on like a Pokemon. Like it was like weird. But like a Japanese exclusive, sometimes there are exclusives from other places. There have been American exclusives, I think.
Yeah, Pokemon does lots of special things to get people excited, and they're very successful at it. So
yeah, but hopefully we're successful. And if you want us to be successful, smash that subscribe button. But yeah, subscribe to our channels if you want to see more, and more podcast stuff, as well as I believe hitting the notification bell will notify you of the voting. I'm not sure. I hope it does. YouTube's weird.
And they change it from time to time.
Yeah, they change it a lot. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed. Consider liking it. You can also check out the podcast on
Spotify and whatever podcast app you want should be there.
But yeah, we're just excited to see you in the next episode.
Yep. Take care.